Hi everyone, it's Cherie from Paper Pieces and Leftovers. I know I've been gone for a while as I was sick and then I got COVID. Somebody at my husband's job brought it to work, and of course my husband brought it home unknowingly. So this is Frightful Family from Treasure Box Designs. This guy is going to be Gomez. I imported him into Cricut Cut Design Space. Him and Morticia import together with a width of 8.75, and it auto-adjusted the height to 11.339. So I dry piece all of my pieces together. As you can see, they're all kind of nestled on top of each other in sections. One, that's to ensure that I have all of my pieces, and two, also then it lets me know visually which way I need to glue them together, as I've already matched them up to the pattern on the computer. So I started with his pants, and I did the little cuffling on the bottom, and I moved those to the side, and now I'm going to do the little stoppers to the front of his shoes. And after I get all those glued down with my art glitter glue, I'm going to glue his shoes on to the pants and set those aside. I am using art glitter glue for all of my pieces. I pre-did the eyes and the eyelashes just to save time. Those are very time consuming, and I did those before I got sick, and everything just kind of sat in the totes while I was recovering for 2.5 weeks. I'm still not 100%. I'm short of breath. I'm sorry if you can hear me taking deep breaths. I didn't have a voice for a while, and I sounded like a man when I did have a voice for the other portion of time. Now I'm working on his suit top with the undershirt, and if you look at my white shirt part there, you'll notice before I glued it down that the edges are dark. I took my ink and went around the edges of the white except for the bottom, in between where the flaps will be. And that's so you can't see the white underneath the piece that lays on top. This is just something I choose to do. You do not have to do it. I just don't like seeing the white underneath it on the sides. And after I get that part done, I went ahead and glued his neck on. I made the mistake of not gluing it in between the shirt and the base of the suit shirt, the pieces that are already there. So if you do glue this together, put those between, just that way his head won't sit so far back because there are a lot of layers. Now's the top piece to the jacket, and that is a piece that's solid but has the middle cut out. And after that gets put on, then the collar, that little piece. And once I get it glued together, I will hold it closer to the camera so you can see it. After you glue the top collar piece on, then the little wings, the flaps, I don't know what they're called, those get glued on, and they go just a tad bit below the collar and not all the way to the bottom of the jacket. And I know this is to represent his coat being open. It went together very smoothly. This actually, considering my head is still a little foggy, didn't take much thought at all. It is overwhelming if you try to piece it all together, just not having any method to the madness. And that's why I kind of section everything off: the pants, the shoes, the coat, the head and hair. Everything is in its own little pile, and dry piecing means that I've stacked it all up and I just haven't glued it together. Sorry about pausing the video, at least the voiceover, so I can cough and clear my throat and I don't hurt anybody's ears. This is something I also do. You do not have to do it. I'm just reinforcing it. That way, if I end up deciding to sell it and I ship it, the head doesn't end up bent where his head can nod yes and no when it shouldn't be, or he'll be beheaded. I do this to a lot of pieces that don't have the bases. Bases of patterns have us spoiled. I glued his head on, and then I'm going to glue his arms behind his jacket before I glue his jacket onto his pants. The reason being, so there isn't a gap between his arm and the back of the coat, and it's all flesh with each other. I forgot that I did glue his tie on after I did the flaps to the coat, and that just lines up right with there's a straight little line across the collar that the top of the tie just lays over, and then I didn't push it down because there is like a little ridge. It's not much, but because it's wet, I didn't want to bend my paper. So now here comes the mustache and the nose. And those had my Cosmic Shimmer glitter glue on. That way I could place the eyes. I put the noses on and then do the eye, trace the eyes and do the eyelashes. That way they're in the right spot. After I get his face together, I'm going to go ahead and glue him onto his pants. And the last part is going to be his hair. And I use the sideburns halfway down the ears just as the measurement. And I did have his hair on when I placed his eyes, so it all lines up perfectly. If you guys need help with that, let me know in the comments. I can do a video of how I do the hair, eyes, and marking.